when you look at our schedule and the culture that we have as a team, you see like this is what we signed up for. This is what we want to do. This is what we love to do. You got to have that fire burning deep down inside of you to do it.
Here come the Irish. What a run! Touchdown! Play of the year for the Irish.
Hey, welcome to the ND on NBC podcast. I'm your host, Coy Robinson, joined by Jason Garrett this week. We got a huge game, USC under the lights at home. So what in the world are you thinking about right now, Jason Garrett, heading into this game?
Well, for Notre Dame, you and I have talked about this before. Practice well, clean the slate from the last few weeks, get the emotions under check, and get ready to go play your best game. And for them, it's about playing the game they want to play. It's a physical style of football. It's running the football. It's controlling the ball. It's taking advantage of some big plays. Sam Hartman to the receivers in the play action game. And then defensively, do everything they can to just simply contain Caleb Williams. He's going to make a lot of plays. We know that, but somehow contain him and make them earn it. Keeping him in the pocket will be a critical part of this game. Not letting him make plays out in space will be big for the Irish.
I'm walking around New York, Coach, and I can't tell you the amount of people who are just devastated recently. And the one question I get over and over again is, what happened to Notre Dame's offense? So I got to ask you, what in the world happened over the past couple of weeks? It's almost unrecognizable.
Yeah, it certainly was unrecognizable last week against Louisville. And, Louisville, to me, beat Notre Dame to the punch a little bit. Some guys on Notre Dame's offensive line who typically are as solid as can be, Louisville got after them. And again, they have to reestablish that physical dominance of the offensive line. And I think everything else on their team stems from there. When they run the ball, the play action game comes alive, the receivers get one-on-one coverage, all of that. And that helps your defense too. One of the best ways to stop Caleb Williams is have him standing on the sidelines next to Lincoln Riley, and he can't make plays over there. So if you can control the ball, which fits into what Notre Dame does. If Notre Dame was a high-flying outfit and four wides, throw it every down, do all that, you would say, okay, I get that, but that doesn't really fit. This fits Notre Dame. It fits Notre Dame to be a physical team, run the football, and control the game that way. And I think that's what they've lost here the last couple of weeks, and they certainly have to get it back.
So let's just talk history for a second. I know you're a big history guy, football. Think about USC, Notre Dame. What does this rivalry mean to you? I know on Football Night in America, you guys were playing around with the tush push on that one game. I heard that on the broadcast. You got the push game. So many classic games. What does this storied rivalry mean to you?
Yeah, you said it. It's a storied rivalry. And, one of the things that I think makes rivalries great is the players who played in the game. We were doing the Cowboys 49ers game the other night on Football Night. And you look at the old clips, it's Deion Sanders, it's Michael Irvin, it's Jerry Rice, it's Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Steve Young. You go on and on and on. It's like Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer. And when you think about Notre Dame and playing USC, it's really the same thing. You think about the amazing players and coaches who have been involved in this game forever. Go back, I'm sure to the 60s and the 70s. And you think about, guys like Ronnie Lott and Joe Montana and all these guys played in these games. And then the more recent history, the amazing stuff with Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and Brady Quinn and some of these amazing players that have played in both programs. So the games are always exciting. I'll give you a quick little story. We're going to have some people come to the game, because everybody was excited. Oh, yeah, we get tickets. And I talked to the people at NBC. They're like, that's a hard one. So it's been a struggle for everybody. And it's easy to see why. The history and tradition. And then, obviously, Caleb Williams this year, he's one of the greatest players in USC's history. Won the Heisman Trophy, has a chance to win it again. And then, the players that Notre Dame has as well. So it's going to be a fun night. It's been a fun night, a fun rivalry for a long time between these two great programs.
Yeah, hopefully we can bounce back from that Louisville loss. And upcoming up next, we actually have defensive lineman Javontae Jean-Baptiste, who's been able to really kind of spur some things on the defensive line. I can't wait to hear what he thinks about this rivalry and trying to do what Coach Jason said, contain Caleb Williams. That's a hard path.
It's a tough task.
So it's my pleasure to be sitting here with you, Javontae. Look, we gotta rip off the Band-Aid. Louisville, what was your assessment from last week?
I mean, they were a good team, and they came out to play. I mean, they fought all game, and they fought their battle, and they gave us their best swing, and they did that.
Yeah, and then this week, how do you flip it for USC? I'm thinking the past couple of weeks, I'm like 2 back-to-back college game days, top 25 road game, and then now USC at home. I mean, how do you flip the switch?
I mean, you flip the switch. You don't even have to. You shouldn't have to flip a switch because this is when you sign up for college football. This is what you sign up for. You don't come to college football not being a competitor. So when you look at our schedule and the culture that we have as a team, you see like this is what we signed up for. This is what we want to do. This is what we love to do. You got to have that fire burning deep down inside of you to do it.
Let's talk more about that culture of the D line. It's such an interesting group. There are a lot of big personalities historically that come to the D line, but there's been like this really deep culture there, and obviously the depth too. Everyone's just kind of plug and play, and it's just recharged. How would you describe this D line culture now? Since you're coming in and seeing it with fresh eyes as a transfer.
I'll say the culture of the D line room is just guys who are juiced up and that play off each other. One person makes a play, we're all celebrating together, and we just all love one another. And once you take off what we've done together off the field and then you bring it to on the field, it makes it so easier because being in workouts with guys and you see how responsible and dependable they are and the accountability that we all have together, it's like I could do my job full force and know that my brother right next to me is going to do the same thing for me. And that's what makes us able to go and drive off of that. And then just being able to have Coach Wash as another driving force of he's just always pushing us to be better and greater.
That's amazing. I always love to ask people this question. So, just bear with me here. How do you think about your role on this team? Because like you're saying, like the D line, it's just like everyone's so brotherly, right? And like you're supportive, but like I'm just like zoom out on the whole defense. How do you think of Javontae in this defense?
I would say myself in the defense, I just look at myself somebody that just comes to work, being around the game for a long time and being able to give those who are my age or not even my age, those who are younger, giving them great leadership and just being able to see what I've seen by playing college football for so long and just giving them that advice and helping everybody grow. But then on the other side of that, it's just being able to push the envelope and the notch of when we're going through things, just getting everybody to pick up the tempo and let's do it greatly.
Walk me through your journey really quick. Who are some of the players that you looked up to when you were a young player, and what did they teach you?
Like in college?
Yeah, in college.
Okay, so I'll say what I looked up to Nick, Chase, Jonathan Cooper, Saquon Lewis. I looked up to all those guys that had played, that had been in that room with, and just learning from them. And what was always taught to me from them is just you just got to have a motor. You got to go. And if you're able to play fast and be physical, everything will take care of itself. But the one thing you can't coach is effort, and that's something you just have to have.
So now transplanting that mentality from Ohio State to Notre Dame, how have you been able to help some of the young freshmen on this roster?
Helping some of the young freshmen on this roster, just trying to get them to see the development of the game and get them to be able to slow down the game because when you come into college, everything's so fast. And then after you're in college for a certain amount of time, then the game slows down and you're able to just pick up the pace on your own. But just telling them, like, you don't have to, once you really learn what you're doing, the playbook and everything and the scheme, and you trust yourself, everything just comes to it naturally.
Let's go all the way back. Just humor me for a second. You said something that I thought was it just kind of hit me. You said, we do this because we love it, right? And sometimes I'm like, okay, is this, getting into the whole pre-business, the pre-NFL, At what point when you were a little kid did you just fall in love with football, and why did you fall in love with football?
I say, I mean, football was always around. Just my dad was a big football guy, and I think I was around the age like 7. I was falling in love with football around the age 7 or 8. My mom was big in basketball, but I tried it out, and I just get too frustrated and try to take my anger out like it was football, and I get fouls and penalty like fouls, and I couldn't do that. So I just left the game of basketball alone and just knew that football was for me, because it's like it's an outlet for you to take out your anger, and it's just fun.
You were like the Punisher on the basketball team. It's like we gotta get a quick foul on somebody. Listen, Javontae.
I'm not gonna lie, like if I had the ball and you was trying to get in my head, I might have ran you over like it was football, and then laid it up, and then was charged. So then after that, I was like, I'm not playing basketball no more.
That's hilarious. Let's talk about Notre Dame, like just the absolute. Let's talk about campus for a second, because when I remember the first time I went on campus, and it's like clear in my memory in high school. Do you remember the first time you stepped foot on Notre Dame's campus?
Yeah.
What was that like for you? Can you just describe it for us?
I'd say like the first time I stepped on campus, it was definitely a change of scenery for me. It was just like something that's very like nostalgic, and that when you look at it, like you kind of amazed by it. Like I remember the first time like I was driving through, and I got to see the grotto, and I just got to see the view of kind of like the water, and just to see everything, and just able to just like, man, like this is a nice view and everything. So then that definitely had that was like a little wow moment.
Are you like a college football nut, like a history nerd, where you're looking back at old games and like looking at the USC rivalry with Notre Dame and USC Michigan, like all the classic stuff, or how does that work for you?
Nah. Nah.
Okay, what is some of your favorite classes that you're taking? Because you're transferred, you already graduated from Ohio State. What are some of your favorite classes that you're taking at Notre Dame?
Right now I'm in I would say, my favorite class that is one I'm in right now. It's business, but it's poverty entrepreneurship, and seeing how those from poverty can capitalize on entrepreneurship and trying to start their own business, and what steps does it take to get to that.
Oh, what are you an entrepreneur yourself? Are you interested in that field?
I would say I'm definitely interested in being an entrepreneur and starting my own business.
So let's just zoom forward. I'm talking like way, way, way in the future after football is done, hopefully a very long career. What would you like to do?
I mean, by then, I'd say just like one thing for me is I just want to be able to affect like generationally and create that type of wealth. So I'd say just there's certain businesses that you can start open, just like I say like car services and stuff like that. I just want to open like a lot of just like multitudes just to get it going. But I would say a passion of mine, really, like I have a strong passion for gaming. So then I would say I want to start my own little gaming entity, and then just create my own little team for those and build like gaming arenas in those neighborhoods that didn't have them, so that little kids could have something else to do.
Who are your favorite streamers for gaming?
My favorite streamers?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. One might be my boy Jared FPS. I say after Jared, I used to watch Nick Merckx a lot, and Tim the Tap Man, and this is a guy named Gaku. I watch them boys a lot, just when I get a little free up of time, and I just hop on the game. I haven't really streamed in a while, just because I just been trying to be busy on the season.
Yeah, but so you're kind of in the thick of it. Kind of in the thick of it.
Yeah, I haven't picked up the game since like fall camp. Once I got in the fall camp, I said, "You gotta go."
I want to ask you. I saw something that you were in the riddles, and I just wanted to just clear it up for me. What is some of some of the best riddles, or maybe let's just pick one, the best riddle you've ever heard or come across? Don't want to put you on the spot, but I mean,
You want me to give it to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be able to answer. I'm not very good at riddles. I'm just curious. Yeah, what's a riddle, and what's the answer? The best one you've ever heard.
All right. I said you want the answer too? I can't get the answer.
Wait. I mean, yeah, I want the answer too. What's the riddle? What's the riddle?
All right. This is something that's is good because it's a little tricky, get you a little think a little bit. All right. What's greater than God? More evil than the devil? The poor have it, the rich need it.
Ooh, yeah, look. I mean, I'm like an F student at riddles. This one, I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna try. Who told you this riddle? Where did it come from?
I mean,
You just come up with that yourself?
no, I ain't come up with it myself. Like I just be on like social media, scrolling, watching people. I see all the riddles that they do, and I be getting good laughs at it. So then that's where I be finding them at. And then my uncle, he used to get good riddles too. So
Do you want to give us the answer before we move on? What is the answer?
I mean, it's nothing. Nothing's greater than God, and nothing's more evil than the devil.
Wow, yeah. No way I would have got that one. Okay, so let's talk about your coaches.
Yep.
It's so interesting to me. Obviously you were with Al Washington at Ohio State, and now here. What have you learned from both Coach Washington over the years and then Coach Golden this year?
I say one thing that I've definitely picked up from Coach Wash over the years is like when he was with the linebackers and I was with the D-line and just being around him in my earlier stages of my college career was just the effort and physicality that you gotta have, and you gotta have that emotion and drive to play the game, and that's something that he's always pushed his players to do. And then I would say when it comes to being here and being with Coach Golden is like if you really sit back and see see him for who he is, especially like when you're in the meetings with him, he's a technician. Like he wants everything done kind of like it. Like everyone knows in life nothing's going to happen perfectly, but if you keep working the technique and you just keep working it, then you're bound to get better at it, and that's something he wants you to do.
I mean, I when I think about like great defensive players, defensive linemen, I just think hands. What are some of the elements that you think of, hey, that makes that defensive lineman elite?
Besides hands?
Just anything, you play the position. I just watch.
I'll say like some things that make defensive linemen elite is definitely the get off, their hands, and just their ability to get off blocks. Those are certain things in the element of the run, and just being able to get off blockers, shed them, and then when you're making tackles, are you trying to force fumbles, or are you just trying to make a tackle?
And then this week we were talking obviously about Louisville. We're talking about USC. This is a big game. Caleb Williams. I was talking to Coach Jason Garrett before this, and he was saying that it's going to be a big challenge just because he's Caleb Williams so great. I'm just curious, when you're watching tape, what jumps out from your perspective as a defensive lineman?
Just what jumps out for me is just his athletic ability, and to see how he moves around in the pocket and how he's able to extend the game, the passing game, and use his feet. So then just looking at that, it just tells you just got to have a high motor and keep running. You can't stop.
Yeah, so for the people who are football lay people, because you said Chase taught you that, and all the guys at Ohio State, and you said it again. How would you describe what does it mean to have a high motor, just in your own words?
I say a high motor to me in my own words is having effort. You gotta be able to run to the ball because it starts like it doesn't start when it's in game. It starts when it's in practice. There's little plays and there's little moments where you could just like get off a block, the play's going the other way, and you could just hit like a little slight jog, or you just gonna get off and take off to try to just, all right, in the game, this could happen. Am I gonna be there? Just stuff like that, and getting those reps and getting those repetitions where if you run into the ball in practice, then you're increasing your stamina, you're increasing your wind, and that's how you be able to get to play more longer in games.
Javontae, it's a pleasure talking with you, and I wish you the best in your gaming career, your football career, and then your entrepreneurial career afterwards.
Thank you.
This Saturday, South Bend will set the stage for some of the biggest stars in college football that hope to shine in one of the sport's biggest rivalries as the USC Trojans take on the Fighting Irish under the lights at Notre Dame Stadium. Legacies will be written and bragging rights will be claimed. It's USC Notre Dame, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. This game, I've been looking forward to it for a very long time. It's a tough ticket every single year. That October California game is special, but this year, oh my goodness, you couldn't write it. It's a matchup in the stars. So I cannot wait to watch it. Can't wait to see the defense try to contain Caleb Williams, as both Javontae and Coach Jason Garrett mentioned. And then the offense, something's got to change. Something's got to give. And no better, there's no better time to show up than under the lights against SC. So we'll be back next week with takeaways from this game and assess where the Irish are as they head into a bye week, which is, in my opinion, much needed. Be sure to download and subscribe to the Notre Dame on NBC podcast on the NBC Sports YouTube channel and wherever you get your audio podcasts. Go Irish.